The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 1,181,403. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 19,904. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 6,584, with total confirmed deaths at 162. We expect those numbers to change as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Rhiannon Chertanich. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, February 23rd. As the country surpasses 500,000 COVID-19 related deaths this week, Los Angeles County also faces another grim milestone in the pandemic. The county's Director of Public Health, Dr. Barbara Ferrer, asked for a moment of silence on Monday as she delivered her daily update on coronavirus cases, noting that the county is also nearing 20,000 fatalities from the virus, even though county-wide infection rates are improving. Infection rates and hospitalizations also continue to decline at a steady rate. Ferrer said the current 7-day average of daily new cases has dropped to about 1,600 from an early January peak of more than 15,000 per day. The county currently estimates that 1 in every 730 residents, excluding those who are in quarantine or isolation, are infected with the virus and capable of spreading it, which is an improvement from last week's estimate of 1 in every 460. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed off on a $7.6 billion coronavirus relief package today. The new bill is expected to give at least 5.7 million people in the state a one-time $600 payment, thanks to $3.7 million that will be set aside, along with more than $2 billion in grants for struggling small businesses. According to the Franchise Tax Board, people who are eligible for the money should receive it 45 to 60 days after receiving their state tax refunds. This is geared for those with low to moderate income who may have been left out of the previous round of stimulus checks. At a bill signing ceremony in Sacramento today, Newsom said the backbone of our economy is small business. We recognize the stress, the strain that so many small businesses have been under, and we recognize as well our responsibility to do more and to do better to help support these small businesses through this very difficult and trying time. COVID-19 vaccine sites run by the city of Los Angeles resumed today. Clients who had appointments on Friday and Saturday that got postponed will receive priority this week and should have been notified of their new appointment. Now, those due for their second dose at a city-run site should hear from the city about their next appointment by today. Close to 26,000 vaccine doses meant for Los Angeles were held up in Kentucky, and another 37,000 doses meant for next week's appointments were sitting in Tennessee due to the severe weather conditions. Los Angeles' 6 vaccination sites include those at Dodger Stadium, Hanson Dam, San Fernando Park, Lincoln Park, Pierce College, and the Crenshaw Christian Center have all resumed operations. The Biden administration announced changes to the Paycheck Protection Program geared towards helping minority-owned and small business owners impacted by the pandemic. Companies with fewer than 20 people will have a 2-week window to apply for a PPP loan, which begins tomorrow. The new changes are designed to help those who did not have access to the forgivable loan program previously. In the initial rounds of funding, national restaurant and hotel chains received large sums, while small business owners struggled to obtain the necessary paperwork for applications or to be approved by lenders. Biden says since the start of the pandemic, nearly 400,000 businesses have had to close their doors permanently. While the president is calling on Congress to pass his $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief proposal, Biden says the revisions to the PPP loans affords some businesses to endure the pandemic. The Biden administration will change certain eligibility requirements as well for the program in an effort to make it more accessible to minority-owned businesses. Former security officials at the U.S. Capitol testified today at a joint hearing before Congress. The hearing was aimed at looking more closely at the security breach that led to the attacks at the Capitol on January 6th. Officials said they did not have sufficient information ahead of the attack to accurately predict the scale of the event. Testimony came from former U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund, House Sergeant at Arms Paul Irving, and Senate Sergeant at Arms Michael Strong, all of whom resigned from their posts after the Capitol insurrection. All three former Capitol security officials agreed that the January 6th attack was planned, coordinated, and involved white supremacists and extremist groups that came with their own radio systems, climbing gear, and other equipment. Today marks the first of a series of hearings to investigate the attack at the Capitol. Next week, there will be a hearing to include leaders from the FBI, the Defense Department, and the Department of Homeland Security. Despite the challenges students have endured already, the U.S. Department of Education announced states will need to administer annual standardized achievement exams to students this year. In a letter to state education leaders, Acting Assistant Education Secretary Ian Rosenblum wrote that the Biden administration will not consider blanket waivers of assessment this year. Under federal law, states must administer annual exams in key subjects, including reading and math, to students in 3rd through 8th grade and once in high school. The results of those exams can be used to judge schools and sometimes teachers on their performance, which could then prompt improvement efforts. The requirements to administer state exams was waived by Education Secretary Betsy DeVos in the spring of 2020, when most schools had shut down as a result of the pandemic. The Scripps National Spelling Bee will return this year, with most of it taking place virtually until the finals, which will be held in person. While last year was the first time the spelling bee was canceled since World War II, organizers say this year's contestants should plan for another fun season ahead. Scripps surveyed spellers and their families about what they'd like to see in the 2021 bee, and the overwhelming majority said they just wanted assurances that the competition would be held in some form. The bee will be limited to about 200 spellers, a 64% reduction from 2019, which had 572 participants. The preliminary rounds will be held mid-June, the semifinals on June 27th, and the final 12 to compete and have it televised on July 8th from an ESPN campus at Walt Disney World in Florida. As a way to reward students, a popular donut chain is doling out free donuts for those A's. Krispy Kreme locations across the nation, including the closest one to us here in the South Bay in the city of Gardena, are inviting students to bring a printed copy of their report card to turn in for free donuts. Students can earn up to 6 free donuts for each A on their report card. And during this week only, when the hot light is on and fresh donuts are coming off the conveyor belt, a dozen original glazed donuts are just $5. Lots of great reasons to make a visit. NASA released the first audio and video images of Mars filmed by its Perseverance rover. The video shows the rover's major milestones during the final minutes of its entry, descent, and landing on the red planet last week. The video also includes a 360-degree view of the landing site by the rover's color navigation cameras. Perseverance has the most cameras of any Mars rover to date, with 19 on the rover. Perseverance, or Percy as it's nicknamed, is the biggest and most advanced rover sent by NASA, becoming the 9th spacecraft since the 1970s to successfully land on Mars. Scientists believe that if life ever lived on Mars, it would have happened 3 to 4 billion years ago, when water still flowed on the planet. Now, over the next few years, the plutonium-powered rover will use its 7-foot arm to drill down and collect rock and soil samples in sealed tubes to be sent back to Earth sometime in 2030 for lab analysis. Takeout Tuesday is here, and if you're looking for a reason to stay out of the kitchen tonight, we've got more than a few. In an effort to help boost the local economy, the City of Torrance launched Takeout Tuesday as a campaign to support local businesses hit hardest by the pandemic. You can find a list of restaurants offering takeout at torranceca.gov/COVID19. And now, with many restaurants offering outdoor dining once again, there are so many places to visit in Torrance. And if you're a restaurant owner that would like to get on that list, just email webmaster@torranceca.gov. The Torrance City Council will meet online tonight to discuss city business. Among the agenda items includes a proclamation declaring the first Monday of March as COVID-19 Memorial Day in the City of Torrance. A recommendation to conduct a public hearing and adopt a resolution for setting certain emergency medical services fees to the Los Angeles County Emergency Medical Services Agency. The council will also be asked to approve the postponement of the 61st Annual Armed Forces Day Parade and celebration due to the ongoing pandemic. Now, these are just a few of the listed agenda items. You can read the full agenda available online at torranceca.gov. And you can also tune in to the live meeting taking place beginning at 7 p.m. right here on our channel, online, and on the city's social media platforms. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. Torrance Serves, a citywide celebration of service leaders, not only met their goal, but exceeded it as hundreds of residents and community members pledged more than 150,000 hours of community service. From January 18th through February 21st, 164,850 hours were pledged for 2021. This campaign was created in line with Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service to celebrate service leaders of the past and present and encourage the community to come together on projects that honor the spirit of giving, public service, and volunteerism. Wow, what a great way to show how Torrance residents and business members care for this community, one service project at a time. Now, if you have a great story, photo, or video that you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.